The Capital One Venture X is the card that some people consider to be the single best premium travel credit card on the market today. And for the right person in the right situation, I 100% agree. Now, with that being said, there are so many different ways to take this credit card and pair it with different credit cards in your wallet setup to get some insane value, just depending on how much time and effort you want to put into building that out. That's why in today's video, I'll be completely focused on explaining the best possible Venture X wallet setups that you can add no matter what level you're at in the credit card game. Now, there's a few things that make a great wallet setup, and every wallet setup can be different and work for different people. Remember, the best wallet setup is the wallet setup that is working for you. Here are some consistent factors that I'm always looking for, though. The first one I never shy away from is earnings coverage. We look for 2x or 2% back on every major category that you spend in, and oftentimes we look to get much more than just that. The second is the different benefits that a card has with it. Different credit cards come with perks and experiential benefits that can enhance your lifestyle compared to just using a debit card or a plain old credit card that doesn't come with anything other than cash back. Learning those benefits and making sure they're used well in your life, well, that's a second part of building a good wallet. Finally, I always keep in mind redemption options and looking at ones that fit your life and your travel habits. Now, the magic is when you can find 3 of these factors that come together, complement each other, and also don't have cards that overlap with similar benefits, thus not allowing you to use all of them for their maximum value. With this in mind, I'm going to show you the 4 different levels that you can build out a Venture X based wallet setup. Starting off with level 1. Level 1 is the base level, and it's this card all by itself. Let me explain how the Venture X can actually pull that off. Now, one of the things that makes this card so versatile is its ability to be its own wallet setup. I don't think any other premium travel credit card can actually pull that off. And if you're making the argument that it can, well, you're probably compromising in a big way in some specific area to make that happen. The Venture X does this effectively through its earnings categories. It brings you 10x back on hotels and rental cars when booked through Capital One's travel portal, 5x back on flights and vacation rentals through that same portal, and a flat 2x back on everything else. And the 2x, quite honestly, that's the secret sauce. That's what the Venture X does that no other premium card can do. And that's a good benchmark where at least if you're earning 2x back on everything, you know you're getting a good value for that category. And that's the minimum that this card will bring you on spend. However, it doesn't stop there. You get a solid lineup of benefits with this card, and I'll highlight some of the ones that I personally appreciate the most, starting off with lounge access. Capital One gives you lounge access in a variety of ways available through the Venture X. The first one is obviously the Capital One specific lounges and the landings that they're building out. Now, it's a small portfolio, but if you have a chance to visit, well, they're pretty luxury. And I spent the time to go through one in Denver and also post it to the channel so you can watch that short video after this one if you want to see what the inside of one of those really looks like. However, Capital One also partners with Priority Pass and gives you access to the 1,300 plus Priority Pass lounges. However, some other key benefits are the Hertz President Circle status, the credit you get for TSA PreCheck, the cell phone protection plan offered automatically, and being a travel card, no foreign transaction fees. It also comes with a $300 Capital One travel portal credit renewed annually and 10,000 bonus miles that are offered every single year on your card member anniversary. Between those last 2 benefits, the travel portal credit and the bonus miles, well, those 2 are the reason that a lot of people consider this an effective $0 annual fee card. As long as you travel at least once a year and use both of those things as you work through the card, well, the card does an incredibly good job of giving back that annual fee that you pay in to hold it. It's all of these reasons together that I think the Venture X can still operate as a solo card in 2025. Even if you don't add any of the other levels that I'll take you through here today, this is the reason that I still recommend this card to friends who I know aren't ready to jump fully into the travel credit card game, and a way to experience all of these different things without having to deal with a bunch of card management problems or the other complications that come with building out a bigger wallet. By the way, if this card does appeal to you and you feel like it's the right choice, using my link down below in the description is the single best way to support the channel, and it's completely free to you as well. However, let's move off the Venture X as a solo setup and look at level 2, which is the Venture X plus the restaurant and grocery card of your choice. Now, this is the second level and should just be a one card addition to target the best possible value that you can possibly get for your situation from restaurant and grocery spend. Why restaurant and grocery spend? Well, let me throw up data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics on the average spending of a typical American. As you look through, you see that the Venture X by itself covers at a minimum 2x back and then has 10 or 5x in some of those elevated categories. However, grocery and restaurant spend are two very common credit card categories that are easy to access that can offer some significant earnings rewards for the spend there. And hey, they just so happen to be one of those highest spend areas that a typical person like you and I certainly goes through. I have two primary card suggestions to fill this slot, and they'll each fit a different type of person or a different type of family, depending on the wallet you're building to provide for. The easiest adoption is adding the Capital One Duo. That's the Venture X, plus the Capital One Savor Rewards card. The Savor Rewards card gets you 3% back on grocery stores, 3% back on dining, 3% back on entertainment, 3% back on streaming services, 5% on hotels and rental cars, which we don't really care about since we have higher multipliers on the Venture X in those categories, and then 1% on everything else, which again, Venture X will cover that as well. This card is great because it has a $0 annual fee, seamlessly integrates with your Capital One setup, and comes with a 20K standard point sign-up bonus. Now let's flash back to that spending chart and show you what the benefit of adding a 3% on a number of different impact categories really does. Swapping in just the Savor instead of your Venture X bumping from 2x to 3% in those targeted categories, well, that's going to add an extra $83 more a year in rewards. Now, that may seem small, but just imagine if your spending is higher than the typical single person in America. What if you're providing for 3 to 4 people or even more? Year after year after year, those rewards start to expand, and the benefit of optimizing your wallet, well, it starts to become really clear. Finally, the last great thing about the Savor Rewards card is the cash back that it's marketed as. Well, you really earn that as points, and those points can be transferred to the Venture X, so you're optimizing your spend all in one network for travel redemptions. While the Savor Rewards works well, it won't be quite powerful enough for some types of people. And that's why I suggest the Amex Gold Card as a second possible card to fill this dining slot that you need in a Venture X setup. I'll tell you exactly how to figure out which card is best for you. However, the Gold Card stands out for its industry-leading 4x in restaurants and 4x back at grocery stores. It also gets you 3x back on flights, including flights booked directly with airlines, which is less than the 5x that the Venture X gets you, but some people do prefer booking direct as opposed to being forced to go through Capital One's portal. Now, the card comes with a few credits. It's $120 in Uber Cash divided monthly, an $84 Dunkin' credit divided monthly, a $100 semi-annual Resy credit, and a $120 dining credit divided monthly as well at multiple different restaurants or food delivery apps. The card has a $325 annual fee. So you may be asking, why would I choose the Gold Card for the grocery slot in this Venture X-based setup over something as simple as the Savor Rewards card? Well, the Gold Card tends to work best and even better than the Savor Rewards if you fit into one of a few categories. I see it being the best option typically when I look at the spending of families for 3 or more. That's where you start to get that surplus value from the membership rewards points and earning 4x at restaurants and grocery stores as opposed to 3x with the Savor card. It's also optimized for families who live in highly populated areas. For me, living in Kansas City, the Gold Card is going to be much better than if I lived out in rural Missouri. Finally, if you already use food delivery apps, there's some built-in value here, so the Gold Card could be a better option based on that factor as well. Now, the last thing to consider before moving to level 3 is points diversity. This can be a strong factor, or it can be a really scary factor, depending on the trips you want to take with your card. Consider that points diversity comes into play if you want to use your points right away. In that case, I suggest going with everything into Capital One, pairing the Venture X and the Saver card, because you're going to want to channel all of your Capital One miles into one redemption. However, if you have a little bit longer of a time horizon, you can probably feel comfortable earning membership rewards points and putting those in one bucket and Capital One miles in another bucket, because you'll have more of a chance and more time to earn enough of those for an adequate redemption later on. Let's look at number 3, the Venture X plus your preferred grocery store card, plus now the gas slot. While we have some big decisions coming up in level 4, this one is really quite simple. My preferred option here is the Citi Custom Cash. It's as easy as 5% back on the top eligible spend category of your choice, with a maximum spend of $500 a month, and then 1% back on everything else. It's got a $0 annual fee, and there's no things like rotating categories or having to activate specific categories before you go in and get those enhanced rewards. Now, on the negative side, this card by itself doesn't earn travel rewards points, and it's also not able to be pooled with your Venture miles, so it's a little bit separate there. However, for most people, what they ultimately decide is the 5% back on that gas category. Well, that's too good to pass up, and it's just so easy to slot one card in there, go with Custom Cash, and move on to the next, level 4. And by the way, if you want the difference that this card makes in your setup, let's flip on over to that earnings table. You'll see that a 5% back on a typical spend just under $2,000 a year in gas, well, you'd go from earning $34.50 on the Venture X to, once you upgrade it, $86.25 back with that 5% earn rate. That's over $50 a year for making that simple addition. Finally, we have arrived. Welcome to level 4. I don't have an official name for this, but I'm calling it the Venture X Travel Package. This is once you build out your wallet based around the Venture X to include the Venture X, your grocery card, your preferred gas card, and then your travel package in addition. These are the travel cards that make the most sense and bring the most experiences into your wallet that work for your life. Now, the incredible part up to this point is if you built the wallet using the 3 levels before level 4, well, you're not knee deep in annual fees. And 2, your earnings multipliers are covered incredibly well. Here's combination 1 that works really well at this level. This is tapping into a hotel card, the Wyndham Rewards Earner Business Card. Now, before you run at the business card logo, note that this earns 8x points on Wyndham hotels, 8x points on gas, and 5x back on marketing, advertising, and utilities. It has a number of different benefits, but the 3 best, in my opinion, are 15,000 anniversary bonus nights per year, which, if you spend them really frugally, can get you 2 Wyndham nights at the lower tier hotels within their branding. You get automatic diamond level status, which includes suite upgrades and welcome amenities, and a 10% award booking discount, making your points just 10% more valuable. The card does have a $95 annual fee, and another negative is it shoehorns all of your Wyndham points into that currency, meaning there's nowhere really to go other than to spend and redeem on Wyndham-based award nights. Now, the biggest advantages of this card are, of course, that 8x back on gas, which is truly an incredible multiplier. It eliminates the need for a separate gas card, or it frees something like the Citi Custom Cash to be used in another high-spending area of your choice. It also offers 5x on utilities, which was a top spending area if you remember that chart I showed you earlier, and no card really does a great job that's worth going out to get separately of covering the utility category, so that's a big win there. Finally, we've talked about business cards on the channel before, but most people get the naming and branding wrong behind how banks issue them. Banks are very casual about giving these cards out. Essentially, all you need is any sort of extra income that's not 9 to 5 W-2 based income, and you can pretty much qualify for a business card. Wyndham has a ton of different hotel brands at all different statuses, and while the points guy values Wyndham points at about 1.2 cents a piece, I totally disagree with that. My personal experience has been that these points are really valued more to 0.7 to maybe 1.0 cents per point at the absolute maximum, but no matter how you personally value them, if they fit within that range, the earnings multipliers in this card are pretty great. Wyndham is also a transfer partner of Capital One, so if you need to send more Capital One miles over to turn into Wyndham points, You could do that as well, adding a little bit of synergy to your level 4 setup. Now, hey, I recognize that a Wyndham business card, that's not going to be for everyone. So I want to send you out with some more flexible suggestions and additions to your level 4 setup. We're going to look at hotel cards and airline cards, and specifically looking for good value and built-in status. Because remember, anything at this point with a great foundation for the setup, well, that's just icing on the cake. Two cards that stand out for me in the hotel category are the Hilton Honors Surpass credit card. This is a card from American Express with a $150 annual fee. You get automatic gold status, which is the second highest level at Hilton. That includes space available room upgrades and a daily food and beverage credit, which can really save you some money, or a continental breakfast if that works based on the property you're staying at. The World of Hyatt card also gives great value. This is a little bit cheaper. It's a $95 annual fee card. Gets you a free category 1 to 4 room night every single year. Gives you Discover status, which isn't quite as good, but you still get a preferred room and can get 2 p.m. late checkout, and is a pretty good long-term keeper card in a wallet setup like this. Finally, if you're looking on the airline side, I won't cover all of the different options there because there are simply so many, but I specifically encourage you to target $95 to $150 airline cards. Look for things such as free bags, early boarding, things that will enhance your experience, and those cards are usually pretty easy to return positive value back from, as long as you're traveling with that airline at least once, maybe twice a year. If you want to save yourself some time in going through all of the airline cards, I've already ranked them all in a video I'll link above, so you can watch my tier list rankings of the best airline credit cards out there, and that could help you make a decision there. Regardless, if you build your wallet correctly, getting to level 4 is really an a la carte selection of choices, with you looking for the best statuses and the best benefits that fit your lifestyle. No matter where you land, I always want to encourage responsible spending and making sure you don't overwhelm yourself in annual fees, so taking this step by step and not biting off more than you could chew all at one time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.